Duct tape's widespread popularity and multitude of uses has earned it a strong place in the popular culture. Who invented it and why?
Go big or go home, also the expression goes, and Australia has certainly taken this to heart. We'll be talking about some of our favourite Australian big things.
The Russian and Turkish Baths on 10th Street in New York City is still the best place to get hot and wet in that city. The original baths were built in the early 1890s by a Russian immigrant. We'll tell you the story.
Wordle's cultural impact has been huge. The man behind the game, Josh Wardell, originally named it Mr. Bug's Wordy Nugz. Aren't we glad he changed his mind?
Hello and welcome to REMORANDOM, celebration of everything interesting. I'm Remo Giuffre.
And I'm Claudia Chanshaw. Hey Remo, how you doing?
I'm good. Haven't seen you for a while.
I've missed you.
I know, I've missed you too. Melanie's away in Europe. This is the third week she's been away. I did actually force myself to do a load of washing over the weekend. So,
how commendable.
We do split the tasks in the household, and that's typically not one of mine. Also, my home cooking is, college student standard. Grilled, microwaved or not microwaved, air fried protein and salad with a garlicky dressing. So
that's okay. Air fried protein.
Not a whole lot of...
We resisted getting an air fryer. Oh, well, my husband wanted an air fryer. I can't have an air fryer. I said, where are we going to put it? Because there's so much bench space that we don't have. And anyway, he got the air fryer. It's magical. It's so good.
Oh,
those little chippies are great.
An air fryer convert. How long ago?
Let's see. How's a month?
And so you're using it a lot. It's good to, it just makes things quicker and it's easy to clean. You should buy, I don't know if you've got the basket, buy the silicone inserts that you just drop into the basket so you don't actually have to pull the whole thing apart to wash it. There are these silicone things.
Okay. This is just pull out the drawer and take the little tray and just wash two things. That's pretty easy.
Yeah. No, that's good. What else can I tell you? I got interviewed for a podcast yesterday. The Creative Common. A guy called Paul Fairweather that I've known for a while. He's an architect. He lives in Brisbane, and got to talk about REMORANDOM. My favourite thing to talk about, and.
Really?
The most satisfying thing was that he confessed that he was converted to the actual physical books, because when I first told him that I would send him a couple of samples, he sort of hosed me down and said, don't worry about it, Remo. I see the content online. I get the emails. Why do I need the actual, do I have room in my life for the book? Anyway, I sent them despite his protestations, and he says he's a convert because he understands the thingness of the book, it's not just about the content, it's about the physical object. And in 100 years, what's going to exist? The book, tick. The recording of that podcast that I did yesterday? No.
Maybe not. Yep.
No. So in terms of longevity, so...
Yeah, we're going to go the way of videotape.
Yeah. Anyway, buy the books, and when you buy the books, in the fourth volume, there's a chapter about duct tape, which is what I want to tell you about today. Duct tape, because it's kind of a ubiquitous thing, right? There's that kind of classic engineer's diagram with WD-40 and duct tape, if it's meant to move and it doesn't, if it's not meant to move and it, did I get those all mixed up? Anyway, I'll put the flow chart up on the video so you understand it. But the inventor of duct tape was this factory worker, Vesta Stout, a woman.
What a great name.
I know.
Vesta Stout.
Stout.
I believe her.
I know. She sounds very upright. She wrote to President Franklin D. Roosevelt with her idea to seal munition boxes with a fabric tape in 1943. So, and the letter found got to the right place, and all of a sudden there was a project, and Johnson and Johnson were involved, and so their new product was made of cotton duck coated in waterproof polyethylene with a layer of rubber adhesive. There's a video by some bloke on YouTube who calls himself the engineering guy, which is so detailed and so obsessive. I don't recommend you watch it, but if you're really interested in the science of duct tape, then do so. But the reason why soldiers nicknamed it duct tape was because it was water repellent, liking it to a duck's feathers. Anyway, so cut to post-war. The tape was less required for ammunition boxes, and started being used more and more for air conditioning ducting. So they changed its colour from khaki green, which is the camouflagey colour that it was, and it became silver. And the name also evolved from duck tape to duct tape, reflecting, now that was its primary use, the ducting.
Yeah.
So it picked up momentum. It got this reputation as a fix-all tool and entered the sort of cultural zeitgeist. It really entered the consciousness globally when in 1970, during the Apollo 13 mission, that was that one that ended in near tragedy, equipment breakdown, and there was a movie about it where they go into a conference room and they throw a whole bunch of things on a table to replicate what the astronauts would have at their disposal to make a makeshift carbon dioxide filter, which is the thing that they needed. And the hero of that show was duct tape, because they kind of used it to stitch it all together. So that's the, it's been on Mythbusters. It's, as I say, its sidekick is WD-40. We've also written about WD-40 in Remorandom. So we're running out of super functional hardware things to write about. If you've
Araldite. What about Araldite?
Ooh, Araldite.
Super glue.
That's a definite maybe. Araldite.
Yeah, super glue.
Yeah.
So when does it become gaffer tape? Because I call it gaffer tape.
Gaffer tape, I think, is used by,
Film industry.
music, film industries. And it's not the cloth one. It can be kind of like just plastic. The thing about duct tape is that you can kind of tear it.
Yeah.
Tear it in two.
Oh, well, gaffer tape tears too. Yeah.
I did research the difference between gaffer tape and duct tape, but like with a lot of things, it sort of stays in there for a little while until I can, while I'm showing off about that knowledge, and then it sort of leaks out of my left ear when I'm sleeping. So I'll check it out again.
Okay. Well, that's fascinating. That is good.
Yeah.
I do love a bit of tape, and a bit of gaff. Go and get the gaff.
My son Roman used to make wallets out of duct tape and sell them to his friends. Yeah.
Yep. So the money would stay in there because they couldn't release the money from the wallet because it was stuck. It's very, very sticky, isn't it? You don't need duct tape to create big things, do you? They're usually, maybe made of fiberglass or something like that. Now, I'm talking about those very, very large things that Australians love so much. We like these giant objects.
Big roadside things.
Yeah, big roadside things. So we are crazy about oversized stuff, and there are currently 150 legitimate big things around Australia. Now, what do you think of? Big Banana, yeah?
Well,
is that the first one
classic,
that comes to mind?
Classic,
Yeah, so that's in Coffs Harbour on the New South Wales coast. And it's often credited as being the very first big thing in Australia, even though it was beat to the post by about a year by the big Scotsman outside Scotty's Motel in Adelaide.
I know
But
that.
this, the
Yep,
Scotsman,
I do.
very welcoming, very, very welcoming fellow. So the Nani was built in 1964 by entrepreneur John Landy, and he created it so that people would come to his roadside banana stall. And it was a big hit. So it started drawing tourists, and then other communities around the country thought, now, okay, we can make big things too. So the success of the big banana in bringing tourists to certain areas inspired communities around Australia to create their own oversized landmarks, and now there are proliferation of big things throughout the country. Now, while they're generally embraced as quirky and fun, they've also faced a lot of criticism from those who think that they are tacky or kitschy. I love them. I really think they're fabulous. And in the case of big things, it's partly the it's so bad it's good thing, is it not? We like them very much. Some of the favourites, there's a big
Faves.
prawn,
Yes.
the big prawn in Ballina. Now, this was built in 1989, and then it was in disrepair. They knocked it down in 2009, and then Bunnings Warehouse came along in 2011 and refurbed it. So it's a bit of a landmark. Of course, there's the big pineapple. We love the big pineapple in Woombye in Queensland. 1971, 16 metres high. And they've got all sorts of things. They've got a train ride and a restaurant and a zoo. I took a picture of my husband inside the big pineapple. It positively glows inside, It gives you this lovely aura when you're
It's a
standing
nice
inside
one.
there.
Yeah.
And it's
It's a
pretty
nice.
warm in there too. Oh, the big merino. We love that. Didn't they bypass the road so you don't drive past it anymore? Anyway, that's in Goulburn. And it's been there since 1985, 15.2 metres high, 97 tonnes. And your big dag takes on a new meaning with the big merino.
You big dag.
Yeah, big dag. Big melon. We're not talking nice big melons, but there's a big melon in Chinchilla, Queensland. 2018, that was a competition. And the big melon beat out the competitors, the big peanut and the big tulip. There's the big lobster in Kingston, South Australia. The locals call it Larry the Lobster. He's 17 metres high. Interestingly, he's actually built and designed by Paul Kelly, not the singer, who also designed that big Scotsman. Now, there's the big potato. I don't know what you think about the big potato in Robertson in New South Wales.
Looks like the big turd, I think.
It does. It looks a lot like a turd. It's kind of long, extruded brown, but it's the big potato.
That was low budget.
It was. There's the big bench that's in Broken Hill. It sits on top of a hill of mining deposits, and that you can seat 8 people on the big bench or a very large person. There's the big penguin from Penguin, Tasmania. The big bogan. Now, this is Nyngan in New South Wales, and since 2015, Nyngan is in the Bogan Shire, and there's a proposal to erect a statue of a bogan. Now,
I
what
thought
would
they
that look
erected
like?
it. Oh,
Well,
they-
mix. Perhaps they have. It has a
Slip
mixed
that one
reaction
through
to the idea.
late night council meeting.
See, I think moth. I think bogon moth. I was in Coffs Harbour last year, and I had to jump out of the car, of course, and have my big banana shot. I also like the big trout in Adam Immerby in Ikuma, and it's kind of like a companion piece to that big trout on the main road in Oberon. That's the
Right.
big trout motor inn. That's a beauty.
You
I like the big stuff.
You can't lose with big things, can you? I know
Big's
the
good.
annual Sculpture by the Sea competition here in Sydney.
Yes.
There's always like a big, ice cream cone or a big something, and it's a winner. People like
It
and
is.
and when I lived in New York, there was a shop called Think Big, which
I
did, like,
know. I
they
know.
had
It was
like
in Soho.
giant erasers or giant pencils or
Exactly. I
paper clip.
shopped there.
Oh, you did?
I
Yeah.
shopped there. Yeah, I bought in the 1980s. I bought from Think Big a blue Crayola crayon, which is as tall as me. And the silly thing is, when I bought it in New York that particular day in the 1980s, I was on my way to Paris, so I had to carry
you had
this
to carry
freaking great life-size crayon from New York to Paris. It comes out of the chute at Charles de Gaulle, and I'm walking around with this bloody thing, and we get the train from Charles de Gaulle into the city. I can tell you, a very heavy suitcase with a
Big
5 foot
Crayola
high
under your
crayon.
arm. That's not
Yeah,
a way to keep a low profile in Paris.
not easy. And the person that I was meeting, it was kind of a new relationship, and they were not impressed with me.
Drawing attention. Yeah, but did they have all the colours? And is there a particular reason why you chose the blue? Or
I only chose the blue. Maybe it was the only one there. I still have the big crayon. I still have it.
well,
The
you're a
silly
collector.
thing,
You don't get rid of anything. So
the silly thing is also in the suitcase that year that went from New York to Paris was a stainless steel steamer because they were on sale in Macy's.
bloody hell. These were your buying days. Well, why can funny you should mention New York because my next story is about the Russian and Turkish 10th Street Baths.
Oh, they were great.
It was when I first lived in New York in 1980, from 84 to 87. I lived very close to where they were. So it's on 10th Street in the East Village, and it's still the best place to get hot and wet in New York City, I think. Not at all fancy. So I used to go there, and occasionally when I have the time and I'm in New York, I will go back down there for a schwitz, which is the Yiddish for the hot sauna, and if you pay a little bit extra, you can get scrubbed and pounded with soapy oak leaf brooms.
By whom?
I know it's funny that you would actually pay for that privilege of getting by people who work there, because the oak leaves have an ingredient in them which opens the pores, and so there's this like dungeon style room, like the mothership room at the Turkish Baths, which is very dark. Your eyes have to adjust to it. There's benches, there's taps that are constantly dripping water into buckets, and people sitting around silently getting hot. And there's a furnace in there. It's a wood-fired furnace. Is it wood-fired or gas? Anyway, it's very hot. It's very dark. It's very masculine. Occasionally, you stand up, grab a bucket, and
Just like grab a bucket.
and dump it on your own head, and everyone's watching to see, if you do it the right way.
Sounds like the basement in Silence of the Lambs.
It's over time, it was a popular spot for Russian and Jewish communities in New York City, but also Al Capone used to go there, Woody Allen. It's been the location for, untold numbers of films, including Crimes and Misdemeanors, the Woody Allen one, Requiem for a Dream, and more recently a movie called Little Ukraine. In the 70s and 80s, it had fallen into disrepair, and this guy called David Shapiro restored it in the sort of mid-80s. It's definitely more hipster these days than it used to be. And, there's a fair smattering of impossibly tall Russian models now who go in there and take selfies of themselves in front of the mirrors in the bathrooms. And all of these things are posted on their Instagram account. No, there's a kind of funny organizational twist to the story, because David and Boris, who used to run the baths, I met both of them. I've got a picture of Boris in the 1991 Remo catalogue. But they had very different management styles, and they actually didn't get on at all, to the point where they parted ways and decided to split the business in two. And the splitting of the business in two involved alternating weeks. So there was a David week, followed by a Boris week, followed by a David week, followed by a Boris week. And the thing is, if you became, paid for a membership in David's, thing, you couldn't go during Boris week. So it was like fraught. Anyway, I think these days the baths are run by David's sons, Dmitry and Jack, and Boris's grandson, Julius. And I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that this generation is getting on with each other and it's not so convoluted. I want to I want to finish this with just a quote from a Remo customer named Mary, who had to say this in 2003 on our website. Quote, "The baths are not for lightweights. John Belushi didn't go there after a big bender for nothing. I was addicted to the baths for probably 10 years. I couldn't wait for Wednesdays, the nakedness, the buckets of cold water over my sweaty hot tush, the freshly squeezed juice and the occasional vodka, to lie in that ancient steam room and get beaten with oak leaves by an exotic woman named Olga. Just the thought makes me tingle, but alas, I got a job way uptown and could never make it downtown anymore. Plan on spending at least 3 hours there, especially good if you're hungover or just achy all over." So, special place, Russian Turkish baths. Next time you're in New York, go in there, check it out.
And then
Take
go
a
to the
selfie.
Russian tea rooms.
Take a
Yes,
selfie.
go have a cup of tea in the tea rooms as well.
They
Yeah,
were being
special
renovated. I don't
place.
know if they've reopened yet. Have they?
I don't know. They were being renovated when I was last there too, so maybe it's a long renovation.
Those
Well,
Russians
that's
take their time.
interesting. Yeah, they
Everything
do,
is
they
interesting,
do.
by the way. Everything.
Everything interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, what a great idea! You should do a book. Do you love a word game? I love a word game. Wordle. It's a web-based word game created by
Well,
the
everyone knows
Welsh.
what Wordle is, surely, by
Oh,
now.
I won't bother telling you this then. Shall I stop?
No, keep going.
All right. Who invented Wordle? Well, there was this Welsh software engineer called Josh Wardell, and he came up with the idea in October 2021. And it's a simple concept. Players have 6 chances to guess a 5-letter word. And each guess reveals the letters, if they're in correct position and the right position, that's green. If they're correct but in the wrong position, that's yellow. And if they're wrong, it's grey. And Wardle was inspired by the Guess the Colour game Mastermind. And there's a daily reset format for Wordle that keeps players engaged and coming back for more. So he creates a prototype of the game in 2013 under this catchy name, Mr. Bug's Wordy Nugz. Catchy, hey?
Yeah.
And he developed the game as an idea for his partner, Palak Shah, who loved word puzzles. And she was an important part of the development of the game because who, other than somebody who really loves you, who would be willing to go through the 13,000 5-letter words in the English language and then identify 2,309 of them that were pretty recognizable. So he had lots of good feedback from family, and then he put it on a little website, and he called the website powerlanguage.co.uk/Wordle. And so that's
Catchy.
very catchy. But despite the fact that this ad-free, dreary little website was so tiresome, he had a huge following. January 2022, popularity soars so that the New York Times says, we want a piece of that, and they add it to their lineup of digital puzzles. He got paid a 7-figure sum, which is, not a huge amount of money, but he wasn't really interested in running it as a business. So Wordle's cultural impact has been huge. It's sparked a resurgence in word games. There's Quordle, which is 4 words at once, Hurdle, music-based game, and Wordle, which is about geography. Key feature is that you can share your results. So you can go, woohoo, got it, I did it. And users were sharing their achievements on social media, which made it a great community. During COVID,
Oh, it was a real COVID thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
welcome source of routine, mental stimulation, and interaction. And popular around the world in different languages, extends to the classroom where teachers use it for building vocab for the kids. And of course, it's in popular culture, late night TV sketches, mugs, T-shirts, etc. The legacy is that it merges nostalgia for traditional puzzles with the modern social connectivity that we have today. So it's one of the most impactful games of the 2020s in the digital sphere. And according to CBS News Sunday Morning, it was played 4.8 billion times during 2023.
Do you play it now? Or
I do not.
I think
No.
Melanie might still do it.
Did you do it?
Very rarely. No, not really. I'm not the games guy in the family.
Yeah, you're busy writing a book called Memorandum.
Thinking about stuff and,
Everything
doodling,
interesting.
dreaming. Great. Okay. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much, and stimulating as usual.
Stimulating,
Nice
and I'm just picturing you, and I don't want to picture you in that steam bath in New York.
Oh, the oak baths.
Big
There was,
boat
I think
leaves.
I remember being in there, and there was a Russian man, and he was deaf mute, so he couldn't even hear it when I said, "Not so hard, not so hard." Okay, remember to check out remorandom.com, our new Substack. That's fun. We're having fun there, and you can go order our books online. Number 5 is just about to hit the streets.
And those books are Memorandum. And if you might have a great idea, like you think Russian
there's got to be another place in the world that you want to tell us about.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to remorandum.com with your ideas, or email us at hello@remorandum.com. Thanks, Remo.
Thanks, Claudia. Bye-bye. See you
Ciao,
next time.
ciao.